All right, looks like we're live. What's up, everybody? It's Maduric, and I am doing a little live session here, having some fun, playing some Midnight in Miami, and we're going to try to beat some records. So, let's go to our game here, and we are on build 0.21, and I am having some fun trying to beat my time and get on top higher the leaderboard. So, we're going to do Lunar Lane, and we're going to use the Wavon WTX 2010 car. So let's go ahead and set this up. Let's give ourselves 5 laps. And what I'm going to do is actually talk through what I'm doing to try to beat the time. So I'll talk about where I turn, where I use NOS, and any strategies I can to try to get that time. So we're trying to get about a 110, anything under 110.50 would be really good. So we're going to talk it through, see if we could beat a time or two, and just have some fun. All right, here we go. So we're going to use the Wavon, and let's get after it. So obviously first lap is nothing that we're going to try to get our final time for. So we're going to save our NOS, but I'm going to talk through when I brake and when I do other things too. So always want to use the widest line possible, or as much of the track as possible. This car is not as responsive to turning quickly, so you got to either brake more or be a little bit easier and give it a little bit more time to turn. So right here, we're going to let off gas, brake a little bit, turn hard, and we hit. So didn't brake enough. So coming out of here, we got a right-hander. Now here I would use some NOS to get up to speed quickly. This one I can let off the gas at that little sign on the right, turn hard and get right back on the gas. Stay to the right, brake hard. Harder. It's hard to talk and drive at the same time, but once I get in my zone, you'll kind of know what I'm doing, and then I'll try to be more quiet. So anyways, here, I'm going to do a quick brake, left, right now. Right when I hear that arrow, I could usually make that left, get in place to turn right, and get another left. So that was kind of sloppy, but we'll try it again on the next pass. So coming up here, we got a left. Gonna let off the gas, brake a little bit, turn left hard, and get right back on the gas. Stay to the right here. When I see this sign, let off the gas, coast, a little bit of brake, make these turns back on the gas, brake and get left. All right, let off the gas, no brake, get right back on the gas. Coming up here, we got the right-hander, off the gas, brake. There we go. Now you can get on the NOS. Quick right. This is the long stretch, so here I'm going to use some NOS. And again, here's the sign, off the gas, hook left, back on the gas. Oop. Not quite hard enough. All right. Also, I've been experimenting with using the handbrake, which a couple times it's better, probably, and more useful in an actual race. If you're really needing to kind of take a turn harder, you're going to lose a bit of time, but on some corners I found it very helpful. Haven't yet found it needed to beat actual records for just fastest lap, but again, in a race, it's a really good tool to use to be able to turn quicker. Nope, it's not quite tight enough. All right, so we got 2 out of 5 done. This lap or the next, we'll see if we can get something good going. It's not on this lap. So with this car, again, it does not turn as quick, so you got to come off the gas and give it more time to slow down, because it just can't turn as sharp, but it does have a higher top speed. Take that wide, there we go. So when you get that turn right, you don't need to turn a whole lot. You just find that right angle where you can start turning and stay on the gas to make a nice wide turn. That one's tricky to do because it's so tight, but... Alright, so let off the gas, brake, and start turning. It's kind of a blind turn to get that right because you just got to trust that it's there. So that section was a little bit cleaner. So now we'll see if we can get something that counts. We got plenty of NOS, so let's see what happens. There we go. All right. So off the gas. Better. There we go. Good so far. That one's not going to work. So when you're really trying to find and nail that best time, even just one hit is usually going to mess you up if you're trying to really get the top. Right now, though, it's always about just getting better at your own times rather than worrying about the full leaderboard. But usually if you hit something, once you get a good clean lap, it's going to be pretty hard to beat your previous times, but always use this as a time to practice and focus on other things. Okay, so we got one more lap. We'll see if we can nail this one and get something working. We got plenty of NOS left, so let's see what happens. And you always want to come into the next lap as fast as possible, obviously. All right. One thing with this car, though, when you use NOS, if you're still turning, it'll definitely cause some oversteer and kick the tail out, so you got to be careful with it. There we go. All right, good so far. Back on the NOS. Let's see if we can get this section nice and clean. All right, back on the NOS. Long straightaway. All right, there we go. So that was pretty good, although I'm out of NOS, so we're probably not going to get it. But looking at a lap time, 110, 111. So not bad. But you really find that after you do this a lot, how much just little tenths of a second add up. And that happens at every little turn, every little movement. That's when all those tenths of a second stack up to where if you wanted to really try beating your times and other people's times on the leaderboard, being really aggressive with it. And actually, does it look like... Yeah, okay, cool, our audio's on. So, so looking where we're at there, yeah, we didn't break any of our times on that one. Let's just try doing 3 more laps on that, and we'll see what we can get now that we're a little bit more dialed in. So remember, first lap isn't going to count, so we'll have 2 more to nail. And sometimes what I find is that if you do it a lot, when you really get kind of in the zone, you get a little bit better focus, and you just don't need to do as many laps. Because again, if you're really trying to beat your fastest time or the leaderboard times, you really need to try to preserve as much NOS for 1 lap as possible. So, usually if I'm just learning a new track or trying something new, I'll put the lap count really high. But if I'm trying to get something faster than my own times on the leaderboard, then I won't worry too much about lap count and just focus on getting 1 or 2 good ones. So again, we're going to use this car. Let's get after it. It's amazing how much quicker this car turns when you're going slow. And that's obviously true of any car, but it's so pronounced. And once you get up to speed, the other thing too is make sure you set a hotkey for the reset, so that if you do crash and you're in the middle of a race, you can get back real quick. Again, you can take that turn real wide once you get it. A lot of the apexes are kind of dark, so you have to really take your time, go slow around them to find out what you could recognize that is the actual apex, because they're not easy to see, but you want to hit them every time to get your fastest lap. There we go. That part's tricky to stay on power and get the most out of it, but that wasn't too bad, so let's see what we can do on this next lap. All right, get up to power and see where we can get going. Shoot. Damn. That's so frustrating. All right. Got plenty of NOS. We'll try to get the last lap and see if we can nail it as our fastest. Again, experiment with how wide you can take a turn. And a lot of times, that means just brake. Sometimes you let off the brake a lot earlier. You don't even need the brake. But that's a lot of what I experiment with, is finding where are my braking zones, what are my braking triggers that I can see to let me know when exactly to brake, so that I know I can make it as fast as possible through the corners. All right, coming in good. Let's see what we can do. That was good. That was close. Looking good so far. There we go. Save enough NOS for the final stretches. All right. Looking good. All right, let's see what we get. We might be able to get it. 109. All right, there we go. So it looks like we got about a 110, maybe 05, I think I might have saw. So that one will definitely put my time up. We'll see where we get on the leaderboard. As you can tell, it's a lot easier to drive a better lap when it's quiet or when you're not thinking so much and just focusing on it. But it's really fun to get the zone. And once you know your lines, it's just repeating it and just trying to get that as clean as possible. And let's see where we ended up. Sweet. So we're on third now. That lap was a 110.077. My last one before this was like a 110.5. So we jumped up a couple more spots. And now it's a matter of getting out there again, finding like 50 more, or 5/10 of a second. So I know it's there. You just got to figure out how to tweak each corner and just milk everything as much as possible. But you could tell how, here, let me pause this guy. There we go. So just being able to tell how to get that maximum time out of every little corner. And it's just super fun to get in there and do it. So anyways, hopefully that helps. Have fun, and we'll see you guys in there soon. Later.